Welcome to another presentation by My Weight World. The topic of this presentation is An Introduction to Morbid Obesity. This presentation is designed to give you a brief overview on the topic of morbid obesity. Definition: morbid obesity. There are two ways to define morbid obesity. A rule of thumb is that if you are 100 pounds over your ideal body weight, you have morbid obesity. A more accurate description of the term is using the body mass index, or BMI. If your BMI is greater than 35, then you have morbid obesity. The BMI is a relationship between height and weight. For example, let's calculate your BMI. First, find your height in the blue column, and then go horizontally until you find your weight in the purple column. The red row on top would correlate with your body mass index. For example, if you are 5 foot 3 inches and weigh 220 pounds, you would first find 5 foot 3 inches on the blue line, and then run horizontally until you find 220 pounds. Then you go vertically until you find your BMI in the red column. In this example, the BMI would be 39 and would be considered morbidly obese. U.S. health problem. Weight gain has become a major problem throughout the developed countries in the world, as well as some developing countries. Let's look at some U.S. statistics. Between 1990 and 2000, the average American gained 10 pounds. Between 1980 and 2000, obesity doubled in adults and more than tripled in children. America spends more than $100 billion per year on obesity, and more than 300,000 people in the United States die each year from illnesses related to obesity. The cause of morbid obesity is not simple, therefore the cure is not imminent. Morbid obesity is complex and probably multifactorial. The primary cause of obesity is inherited through your DNA. Human DNA evolved over millions of years to preserve calories in a very harsh environment. Human DNA does not work well in modern society. Food, a significant increase in calories from fat and carbohydrates. Activity, decreased energy expenditure through sedentary jobs and school. So, while overall our DNA has not changed much recently, our food has more calories from fat and carbohydrates, and we have become less active. Some other interesting points have to do with our fat adipose cells. Humans are born with about 35 billion fat cells. Many people with morbid obesity have expanded their fat cells to more than over 275 billion. Once you have them forever. If your body has increased its number of fat cells, it is very difficult to keep your weight off through diets and exercise. Not only are weight problems related to death, but they are also related to dying prematurely. If you have morbid obesity, the reduction of your life expectancy is typically 13 to 20 years. If you have general obesity, your reduction of life expectancy is 5.8 years for men and 7.1 years for women. If you are overweight, your life expectancy is reduced by 3 years. To put it into perspective, someone who is morbidly obese will most likely not live past their late 50s or early 60s. Medical problems related to obesity. For example, if a person develops diabetes as a result of weight problem, then the diabetes would be a comorbidity to their weight. At issue is that comorbidities worsen with obesity. Comorbidities increase in severity as our age and weight go up. Most comorbidities require costly medications, for example, diabetes. There are many comorbidities related to weight. Here is a list of a few of them: high blood pressure, elevated cholesterol, heart disease, asthma, sleep apnea, gallstones, hepatitis, diabetes, gastroesophageal reflux, heartburn, skin infections and ulcers, infertility, and menstrual abnormalities. Cancer is also a comorbidity related to weight. Here are some statistics taken by the American Cancer Society in 2001. If you are obese, you are 500% more likely to develop gallbladder cancer over someone who is not. If you are an obese female, you are 500% more likely to develop uterine cancer over a female who is not. There are numerous other types of cancers that are affected by weight, including colon, breast, kidney, pancreatic, rectal, esophagus, and liver cancer. In summary, cancer is on the rise in the obese population. Morbid obesity also affects our activities of daily living. A recent study shows those patients that are morbidly obese cannot do the following. 27% of the morbidly obese are unable to buckle a normal seatbelt. 85% cannot cross their legs. 33% cannot fit in a restaurant booth. 36% cannot fit in the theater, bus, and airplane seat. 52% of morbidly obese men are unable to urinate accurately. 16% cannot walk downstairs unless backwards. Here are percentages concerning what morbidly obese people will not do. 73% refuse to undress in front of their spouse. 81% will not sleep in same room as spouse due to snoring, and 68% will not wear short sleeves in the summer due to large arms. A fundamental question when having morbid obesity is, why get your weight under control? Here are 3 essential reasons. Number 1. First and most important is, increase your lifespan, possibly as much as 20 years. If you have morbid obesity, chances are you will not live past your late 50s or early 60s. Number 2. Reduce or eliminate comorbidities existing in future ones. For example, diabetes, high blood pressure, back and joint problems. Number 3. Personal. To feel better and be more active with family and friends. In summary, this has been a brief overview of morbid obesity. Other MyWeightWorld.com presentations include medical treatment and surgical treatment. They can be found online. This has been another presentation by MyWeightWorld.